The night was bright in Banana Island. Expensive cars lined the streets, music floated in the air, and people in fine clothes laughed as they entered the charity event hall. Becky looked stunning in her red dress. She had worked hard all week and this night felt like a reward. Inside, the hall glowed with golden lights. Waiters carried trays of drinks and food. Becky smiled as she moved from table to table, talking to people and enjoying the event. She was so carried away by the music, the laughter, and the crowd that she did not notice something important. Her brand new phone was no longer in her purse. Becky got home late that night, still smiling from the fun. She changed into her nightgown, said a short prayer, and slept off without even checking her phone. The next morning, she reached for her bedside table. Empty. She searched her purse. Empty. Panic filled her chest. She ran through her mind, trying to remember. She had just bought the phone. It had cost her so much money. She quickly borrowed her cook Grace's phone and dialed her number. The line was switched off. Someone must have picked it, Becky muttered, sinking into her chair. Damn. Her whole morning was ruined. She could not focus on breakfast, nor on work calls. She felt sick inside. By afternoon, her mother called Grace's number. Becky picked. Becky, I tried calling your line earlier. A man answered. He said he found your phone at the charity event. He left a number for you. Becky's heart jumped. Really? Thank God. She quickly dialed the number on her office phone. A deep male voice answered. Hello, the man said. Becky wasted no time. Hello, my name is Becky. I own the phone you found. Yes, he replied. I picked it up from the floor last night. You can come collect it at my place. I live just a few blocks away from the event center. Becky grabbed her car keys. In less than 15 minutes, she was at the gate of a beautiful mansion. And there he was, the Good Samaritan. He was tall, broad-shouldered, and the most handsome dark-skinned man Becky had ever seen. Usually, Becky preferred her men light-skinned. But something about this man drew her in, though she quickly waved the thought aside. She was not looking for romance. Her career was her only focus. She thanked him, collected her phone, and drove away. But the truth was, her mind was no longer with her. All day, she kept thinking about the stranger with the deep voice and the kind eyes. That night, unable to resist, Becky sent him a WhatsApp text. Hello, thank you for finding and returning my phone. I don't think I thanked you enough. I really wish I had gotten your name. She waited. 45 minutes later, his reply came. Hello Becky. My name is Christian. Nice to meet you. I'm glad I could do something right. Their chat went on for hours, long into the night. Becky woke up with a smile on her face. She stretched on her bed, remembering the long conversation she had with Christian the night before. She couldn't remember the last time a chat had kept her awake for hours. His deep voice still echoed in her mind from their short phone call. There was something about him that felt safe, yet mysterious. At work, she tried to focus on her files, but her fingers itched. She couldn't resist. She opened Instagram and typed his name, Christian. His page appeared almost immediately. Her eyes widened. Wow, she whispered, he had over 258,000 followers. He wasn't just any man, he was Dr. Christian, a medical doctor who gave health tips to thousands of people. His videos were clean, his words were clear, and his comment section was full of people thanking him. Becky leaned back in her chair, impressed. He's amazing, she thought. But the sweetness in her chest turned sour as she scrolled down. Her eyes froze. Picture after picture showed Christian with a woman. A very beautiful, light-skinned woman. She was almost white, her smile bright and confident. Becky's heart sank. She stared harder. Something about the woman's face felt strange, like a softer, fairer version of herself. Her chest tightened. So, he has someone already, she whispered, her mood crashing. She logged out in anger and pushed her phone aside. When Christian sent her a cheerful message that afternoon, she ignored it. She ignored the next one too. By evening, her phone buzzed again. She opened it, sighed, and typed back a short reply, "Hi." He noticed the coldness. "Are you okay?" he asked. Becky bit her lip, her fingers hovering over the keys. Then she typed boldly, "Are you married? Or in a relationship?" The three dots blinked for a while before his reply came, "No. I'm not." That was it. No long explanation. Just a calm, straight answer. Becky stared at the screen. He didn't sound like a liar. Something about his simplicity made her chest loosen a bit. She placed her phone down and told herself, maybe she was an ex. He doesn't look like a womanizer anyway. From then, their conversations grew deeper. They spoke every day, sharing jokes, dreams, and secrets. Becky laughed so much that even Grace, her cook, asked one morning, "Madam, what's making you glow like this?" Becky only smiled and waved her hand. Her colleague Mark noticed it too. "Becky, you've been smiling at your screen all week." "Who's the lucky guy?" he asked with a grin. And Sarah, her best friend, couldn't stop pressing for details. "You better introduce me soon before I think you're hiding a prince." Becky only laughed. Deep down, she felt she had indeed found someone rare. Soon, Christian began taking her out. First to a quiet garden filled with flowers, then to a classy restaurant where the waiters bowed when they saw him. Becky felt special beside him. He never forced himself on her. He listened more than he spoke, always making her laugh. Sometimes, she visited his mansion. To her surprise, he cooked for her himself. She watched him move about the kitchen, calm and confident. He never touched her in ways that made her uncomfortable. He was always respectful. Lying in bed one night after another lovely dinner, Becky touched her chest and whispered, smiling to herself, "I think I'm falling in love with him." But one question still lingered in her heart. The image of the light-skinned woman from Christian's Instagram refused to leave her mind. She needed answers. One calm afternoon, Christian invited her over. He had prepared pasta and freshly squeezed juice. They sat in his elegant living room, soft music playing in the background. After a few moments of silence, Becky gathered courage. "Christian," she began carefully, "can I ask you something?" He looked up, smiling warmly. "Of course. Anything." Her heart pounded. "The lady on your Instagram, the fair-skinned one. Who is she?" The smile on his face disappeared. His eyes clouded, and his hands froze on the glass he was holding. Silence filled the room. Becky shifted uncomfortably, almost wishing she hadn't asked. Then, after a long pause, his voice broke the air, low and heavy. "That's Monica," he said quietly. His eyes glistened. "We dated for almost 4 years. She went missing 2 years ago." Becky's mouth fell open slightly. "I planned to propose to her the very week she disappeared," Christian continued, his voice trembling. "No one knows if she's alive or dead. People say she's gone forever. She was everything to me." A tear slipped down his cheek. Becky's chest tightened. She felt deep sadness for him, but also an uncomfortable jealousy. Could she ever fill that space Monica once held? Still, she reached out and gently placed her hand over his. "I'm sorry, Christian," she whispered. He nodded, wiping his face, and forced a small smile. "Life goes on, I guess." Becky decided she would be patient. With time, maybe Christian could love her the way he once loved Monica. Their bond only grew stronger in the days that followed. He never pressured her, never crossed boundaries. He seemed to understand her completely. Becky believed she had truly found a good man. But fate had other plans. One Lagos night, rain crashed hard on roofs and roads. The power went off, and the city slid into dark. Becky had cooked peppered chicken and drove it to Christian's house in a small flask. Wind pushed at the trees. She hurried toward the back door, using her phone as a light. Muddy water streamed from the garden beds. Something bright flashed at the edge of a sunken patch of soil. Becky paused, bent down, and brushed wet sand aside. It was a small silver bracelet, cold on her fingers, engraved with a single letter, M. Her breath caught. The rain hissed louder. Becky looked at the sinking ground, at the bracelet in her hand, and felt her heart beat hard. She lifted her light toward the soil. The earth had been disturbed. Thunder rolled above. Becky swallowed, slid the bracelet into her palm, and stared, unsure if she should call for help or run, or scream now. Becky's fingers trembled as the silver bracelet slipped from her hand and landed in the mud. She crouched lower, brushing away the soft soil. The rain was cold against her skin, but her heart burned with fear. Her torchlight shook as she dug deeper. A pale curve appeared. At first, Becky thought it was a stone. Then her breath caught. It wasn't a stone, it was bone. A skull. Her mind screamed, but no sound came out. She staggered back, slipping in the mud, her chest heaving. "Oh God," she whispered. "Monica." Before she could run, a voice cut through the storm. "You weren't supposed to see that, Becky." Her torchlight swung. Christian stood there, rain dripping from his black coat, eyes colder than she had ever seen. His usual soft smile was gone. "Christian," Becky's voice cracked. What is this?" He stepped closer, his shadow long in the lightning flash. "She betrayed me," he said, almost calmly. "She thought I didn't know about her affair. I gave her love, everything, but she threw it away. That night, I lost control." Becky shook her head, tears mixing with the rain. "You killed her?" "She left me no choice." His voice roared now. "And you," he pointed at her, shaking, "you were supposed to heal me, not dig into my past." Panic shot through Becky's chest. She turned to run, but Christian lunged. His hands gripped her arm, dragging her down into the mud. She screamed, kicking, struggling with all her strength. Her phone slipped from her pocket, the light blinking in the rain. "Please, Christian, don't do this," she cried. "I love you." For a second, his grip faltered. But then his face hardened again. "If you love me, then keep my secret," he growled, pressing her into the wet ground. Summoning all her strength, Becky grabbed the silver bracelet and slashed it against his face. He roared in pain, loosening his hold. Becky scrambled up, running toward the gate. He chased her, mud splashing with each step. A stone caught her foot, and she fell, pain shooting up her leg. Christian loomed behind her, raising a heavy stick. Becky rolled just as it struck the ground, inches from her head. She pushed herself up, limping, and darted into the street. Headlights. A passing car slowed, honking. Becky screamed, waving her arms. The driver braked, and Christian froze, his face wild in the lights. In that moment, Becky collapsed, and the car driver rushed to her side. Hours later, Becky lay in a hospital bed, her body bruised but alive. Police officers surrounded her, listening as she told them everything. The shallow grave. The bracelet. Christian's confession. By dawn, Lagos buzzed. The noble doctor, the online hero, was now a fugitive. His face filled the news. 3 days later, at Murtala Muhammad Airport, plainclothes officers cornered him as he tried to board a flight. His charm was gone, but blood still lined the cut on his cheek. The trial was swift. The evidence was heavy. The verdict rang clear: life imprisonment. Becky sat in the courtroom, silent. Her body had healed, but her heart carried scars. She thought of the nights he made her laugh, of the meals he cooked, of the man she thought she knew. And she thought of Monica, the woman beneath the soil. As Christian was led away in chains, Becky whispered to herself, "The man who gave me joy was a monster all along." Thank you for staying till the end. Please like, share and subscribe to this channel for more stories like this.